Many celebrities from the worlds of music, cinema, literature, etc. have chosen the sea or other water bodies as their final resting place. Eschewing a more conventional burial in the glare of publicity, these individuals have instead requested their ashes be scattered in an ocean, lake, or river, perhaps seeking communion with nature as a way of saying goodbye. These water bodies also serve as an anonymous cemetery, and have on occasion received the mortal remains of far less pleasant characters most of us would like to forget. So, can you name some famous people buried at sea, lake, or river? Please comment below and pay your respects. Neil Armstrong. The ashes of Apollo 11 astronaut Neil Armstrong, the first human being on the moon, were scattered in the Atlantic Ocean on September 14, 2012. Cary Grant. One of cinema's greatest leading men from the golden age of Hollywood, Cary Grant requested no funeral and asked that his ashes be scattered in the Pacific Ocean in a simple ceremony. Marlon Brando. Marlon Brando's ashes were scattered across multiple locations, including in the Pacific Ocean off the coast of Tahiti. David Bowie. According to his wishes, David Bowie's ashes were scattered in the sea in a Buddhist ceremony in Bali, Indonesia. Alfred Hitchcock. The Pacific Ocean received the ashes of the British filmmaker on May 10, 1980, this being 10 days after his funeral. Janis Joplin. Janis Joplin is a member of the infamous 27 Club, an informal list of celebrities who died at the age of 27. After her death, the singer's ashes were scattered from a plane over the Pacific Ocean. Sean Connery. While the majority of Sean Connery's ashes were scattered across secret locations in Scotland, some of the former James Bond actor's remains were deposited in and around the Bahamas, his adopted home. Steve McQueen. After his death in Ciudad Juarez, Mexico, the King of Cool, known for a string of hit movies such as The Great Escape, 1963, The Cincinnati Kid, 1965, and Bullet, 1968, was cremated and his ashes scattered into the Pacific Ocean. Marvin Gaye. Marvin Gaye was shot to death by his father on April 1, 1984. After his funeral, the singer's ashes were scattered into the Pacific Ocean. Robin Williams. San Francisco Bay is where the ashes of Robin Williams were scattered, on August 21, 2014. The actor and comedian had taken his own life 10 days earlier. George Harrison. In keeping with his belief in Hinduism, former Beatle George Harrison requested some of his ashes be scattered where the holy Yamuna River and the Ganges converge near the city of Allahabad in India. Harrison's ashes were also scattered near the city of Varanasi. Robert Mitchum. Hollywood's favorite, heavy, Robert Mitchum chose also to have his ashes scattered at sea, in fact in the Pacific off the coast near his Montecito home. Kurt Cobain. In a ceremony chanted over by a Buddhist monk, the ashes of Kurt Cobain were purportedly scattered into McLean Creek in Olympia, Washington State, by his wife, Courtney Love. In a 2013 edition of Esquire magazine, Love indicated that most of the late Nirvana frontman's earthly remains were in fact interred at Namgyal Monastery in Ithaca, New York State. Maria Callas. The ashes of American-born Greek opera singer Maria Callas were originally interred at the Père Lachaise Cemetery in Paris, France. After being stolen and later recovered, they were scattered over the Aegean Sea, off the coast of Greece, on June 3, 1979. Jerry Garcia. The ashes of Jerry Garcia, legendary songwriter, lead guitarist, and vocalist with the rock band Grateful Dead, were scattered in the river Ganges at the holy city of Rishikesh, India. James Avery. A familiar face on television, and best known for his small-screen work in The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, 1990-1996, James Avery had his remains scattered into the Pacific Ocean. John Fitzgerald Kennedy Jr. The Kennedy curse struck again on July 16, 1999, when the light plane John Fitzgerald Kennedy Jr. was piloting crashed into the Atlantic Ocean, killing him and his wife, Carolyn Bessette, and sister-in-law Lauren Bessette. The ashes of all three were scattered at sea from the deck of USS Briscoe off the coast of Martha's Vineyard on July 22, 1999. Roscoe Arbuckle. Famously embroiled in one of the most notorious scandals of early Hollywood cinema, silent movie star Roscoe Fatty Arbuckle had his ashes scattered in the Pacific Ocean shortly after his death on June 29, 1933. William Holden. William Holden, one of the biggest box office draws of the 1950s, dictated in his will that his ashes be scattered over the Pacific Ocean. J. Robert Oppenheimer. Known as the father of the atomic bomb, For his role in the Manhattan Project, J. Robert Oppenheimer spent much of his later years on the island of St. John in the U.S. Virgin Islands. It's here that his wife dropped the urn containing his ashes into the Caribbean Sea. Jean Gabin. Considered one of the greatest actors in French cinema, Jean Gabin was afforded full military honors at his funeral due to him serving in the Fusiliers Marins, French naval infantry, in his youth. He was granted a burial at sea, his ashes scattered in the Atlantic Ocean off Brittany from a military vessel. Bob Fosse. Celebrated American actor, choreographer, dancer, and film and stage director Bob Fosse had his ashes scattered in the Atlantic Ocean off Quogue, Long Island. H.G. Wells. Author Herbert George Wells, whose novels include The Time Machine and The War of the Worlds, had his ashes scattered into the English Channel at Old Harry Rocks, near Swanage in Dorset. Sridevi. The ashes of Bollywood superstar Sridevi were taken to and immersed in the sea off the coast of Ramaswaram, in the Indian state of Tamil Nadu. William E. Boeing. William E. Boeing, the American aviation pioneer whose name is synonymous with one of the most famous airline companies in the world, requested his ashes be scattered off the coast of British Columbia, Canada, where he spent much of his time sailing. Dennis Wilson. Dennis Wilson was buried at sea as per his wishes. Ironically, the Beach Boys drummer died by drowning at Marina del Rey in California on December 28, 1983. Bill Bixby. The ashes of American actor Bill Bixby, best known for his portrayal as Drive David Banner in The Incredible Hulk, 1977-1982, were scattered in the Pacific Ocean off Hana, Hawaii. Robert Altman. American movie director Robert Altman, whose pictures include MASH, 1970, The Player, 1992, and Gosford Park, 2001, chose to have his ashes scattered at sea. Brian Connolly. Best known as the lead vocalist with British glam rock band The Sweet in the 1970s, Brian Connolly was cremated and his ashes scattered in the lakes and rivers near Denham in Buckinghamshire. Adolf Eichmann. Following his execution by Israel on June 1, 1962, the ashes of notorious Nazi war criminal Adolf Eichmann were scattered over the Mediterranean Sea in international waters. None of the executed Nazi war criminals were given burials. All were cremated and their ashes scattered secretly over land or sea. More recently, the body of Osama bin Laden was buried at sea, also at a secret location. Thank you for watching. Please do subscribe for more information. Please do support us.